Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing.
Yo ma, and welcome to the PAC Show, proudly brought to you by PAC Athletic Club and DoubleTake Sports, the show that brings you all the highlights, the lowlights, the reviews, the previews, the news, and the interviews from rugby here in Australia and around the world. My name is Jay Bohr, and tonight, second starting jersey there, it's Ryan Freeney. The kill switch is up in the starters box alongside Dallin, and Doss is not joining us. And on the battlers bench tonight, we've got absolutely no one. Once again, Big Fat Das is still gallivanting around Townsville. Doss has dogged the boys, as he's wont to do. But that said, Dallin, you're looking pretty tan, bro. Where you been, mate?
Just been at Byron Bay.
Nice. How was the wedding? How was the honeymoon? Fill us in on all the dirty details.
Wedding was fantastic. We woke up Saturday morning and we're supposed to get married at Botanical Gardens. It was a bit rainy. We said, all leading up to that point, they said, yeah, you can have a marquee. Morning of, they call us, can't have a marquee. Had to change it last minute. Luckily, the Rotunda at New Farm Park was available. Got married there. Beautiful, fantastic. The sun started shining. Had it at the Stock Exchange. Beautiful, wonderful weekend. And then just been at Byron Bay for the last week. Just phone off, just chilling out.
Nice.
I look refreshed,
good.
eh?
You do, mate. No, you actually look refreshed, mate. You look gorgeous.
You look a bit better than you did after your Bucks party, that's for sure.
It's been a big couple of months. I've left the piss for a while. It has. You know when you just like, you've just had enough, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm tapping out.
Yeah,
I
I reckon
exactly
I've
what
got
you're
2.5
talking about.
years
Yeah.
one more week, I reckon, until I'm a bit like that. I
Yeah.
need a bit of a recharge, and Jesus Christ.
But it was good. It was really good.
It's good how you just Bear Grylls it and improvised, adapted, and overcame the situation. And
Yeah, you got
just
it.
got a new farm, Rotunda, and we're dominated.
And you didn't have Rat. He wasn't your celebrant, was he?
No, luckily the celebrant turned up. But
Oh.
Rat and Frizz absolutely dominated the MC duties. They were amazing. Had the
Really?
whole
Oh, that
place
would
on
yeah.
That's
yeah,
They
awesome.
were just running off each other. Unreal.
Just laying into each other, laying into everyone else. I can only
Oh.
imagine.
At one point, like, Rat was like trying to be really serious, and then Bronte's dad made a speech and was like, you know, really emotional. And then Rat gets up and goes, "Oh, that was really beautiful." I was like, "Shut up, Rat." Go back to being funny, man. And I was like, "No, Rat." I was like, "Oh,
Oh, that's so good.
But it really was.
I love that guy. That is the funniest.
too.
Friends, how was your weekend, mate?
Yeah, it's eventful. Yeah, drank a lot and head noise today. Yeah, it's too long to talk to about on here, but yeah, it was. I'll tell you after the show. It's pretty funny. Oh,
That's sick, man. Mate, but there was actually footage, mate. He is one hell of a footy player, your son. Eh? How old is he now?
he's under nines.
And
He's 9, but he's playing under
slotting
10.
goals, mate.
Yeah, he's playing up a year and under 10s. I think I might put him back a year next year though, because I'm looking. He stood next to his teammates on the weekend. I was like, "Oh, out there, so much bigger." Yeah, but he scored an awesome try and
Slotting goals.
Yeah,
left.
he's
He's very skillful.
yeah, he's
is he on the
there.
wing still?"
Yeah, he's on the sting. He needs to be centre, but whatever.
You'll get there.
Give him
Yeah, he'll
time.
get there.
He'll bulk
It's just
up.
because him and the other little fast guy they can tackle.
Put him in the centres.
Yes, but like so he stays on the wing in defence. So when they anyway, they won again, and you should have seen the boys. They were so pumped.
They're loving
A
it.
fair few less goals
Oh.
at the end too. She's like, "Let's go!" Oh, it was cute.
That's sick. All right, well, we've got a huge night of rugby to get through this evening. Obviously, we saw the results from Shoot Shield finals over the weekend. And the penultimate round in QPR saw a cricket score get notched by the Gimps from UQ. Also joining us on the blower, the recent retiree, the Golden Girl herself, Alicia Lucas, Alicia Quirk is going to be joining us on the blower just to go through her career and get her thoughts on the upcoming final round of the HSBC Sevens this weekend. But without further ado, we'll just get into a bit of footy news, hey, friends.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll kick it off. Jesus. The Wallaroos 5, the Black Ferns 52. The Black Ferns were so unbelievably dominant. It's not funny. Their halves are absolutely sublime.
It all started at set piece, didn't it?
It did.
The
It
set
did.
piece.
We couldn't win a single line out. They were just so dominant.
Not even that, just scrums.
everything.
Everything, unfortunately. Just the girls had a long day at the office. Unsure. There's not just a million props laying around and stuff too. The girls are trying their hardest and stuff. It's just experience, I guess.
They're a rung above.
Yeah, but they're still getting their test experience. That they haven't had for how long now. So they've had a few games leading up to this, and they did quite well in that series over. The last one was New Zealand. Hopefully the next game they improve a bit more. But yeah, just that set piece, I reckon, that's the biggest thing at the moment.
Yeah, well, they got a late consolation try to pipe a duck, but Dow, this just shows the gulf between the professional and non-professional environments. It's as clear as day. You've got teams like England, France, New Zealand, absolutely chopping up, and then a team that arguably should be a powerhouse in the Wallaroos is just getting dispatched like this.
Yeah, 100%. You can see the big gulf, and I think it's expanding. I think it's getting bigger and bigger, and
yeah,
especially up north. I think if you look at the France and you look at England and even the USA, they're starting to become some quality players coming out of there, and Australia's getting left behind. We need to do something.
It was 3 years between drinks by way of playing test matches.
But you just watch those even the Kiwis, but the Northern Hemisphere girls are just their set piece is insane.
Yeah,
insane. Their mauls, their set piece, their line outs, their scrums, their ball play, their everything is just so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just it's insane. I don't know what we can do, but we just need more tests, obviously, and
it's just literally just investment in that game.
Exactly right.
We've invested so heavily in the women's sevens arena. There's almost
we've been depleted in the NRL. You see so many of the NRL
we're getting decimated.
Just decimated. Girls that are, proper legit forwards or specialist forwards positions and stuff that have gone to league, and you're losing so much talent. It's not saying the girls that are there aren't talented. It's just that the depth and having, your second loaded props coming on in the second half type thing. You know what I mean? When there's just people leaving it at a rate of knots, it's pretty hard to stop. But
it's not just it's the gulf between not just the NRLW, but all sort of women's professional sports in Australia compared to women's professional. Can't even say professional. Women's rugby is just so huge. The AFLW is now all 18 sides. The NRLW's expanded. They are just blowing up. And our sevens are great, obviously, but, the 15s game is just getting left in the dark. So hopefully they can do something in regards to getting that over the board. But golly gee, man. They're backing up again this weekend at Adelaide Oval playing the curtain raiser to the All Blacks game. So fingers crossed they can put on a bloody good performance. So all the workings are there, and you can't help but think that maybe that result from the weekend just gone is going to help galvanise the girls. I think we've just gotten word here that we do have Alicia Lucas on the blower. We may as well just get straight into it. Alicia, Quirky, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're living the dream. We're living the dream. Congratulations. I mean, you announced your retirement just a matter of days ago. Such a storied career, picking up the game about 10 or so years ago, and in that time winning a World Sevens series as well as an Olympic gold medal, and then pulling the boots back on again this year after giving birth to your little baby girl, Tilly. It's been a hell of a ride. I mean, how do you feel being retired now?
It has been a hell of a journey, that's to say the least. I'm a bit of a mixed bag at the minute. It's been a roller coaster last week. I'm pretty content though at the minute to be retired and not have been at training today. But yeah, I'm a little bit all over the shop, obviously, a little bit disappointed in a way that I didn't get to have that one last game with Tilly, in the stands watching me. But also then I'm just so proud that I came back and gave it a crack after having her and facing all of the obstacles to come back to professional level sport after having a baby as well. And yeah, so it's a mixed bag to say the least.
How was coming back after having a little one to rugby in that intense sort of environment and all that?
Oh, it was honestly the hardest thing I have ever done. It was like it was ridiculous. There's no, obviously the full-time training in itself is so intense, and I'm used to being in that environment. And then as soon as you go home, you go on the beach or you're lounging on the couch or you're bumming and doing nothing. Whereas when you've got a little baby, when I first started, I was, breastfeeding or pumping in between trainings, and then even now, like I'm coming back home and I'm okay. We're going to the park. We're going to the beach. We're doing something active to keep her busy. We're cooking dinners and we're just on the absolute go. So it's been a huge juggling act. With having her as well. But also I was out of the game for nearly 2 years. And in that time, the physicality and like speed and strength of the girls increased tenfold. So not only was I playing catch up from just pregnancy, like I was playing catch up from like that period of time where they didn't play footy. So all they did was like just gym and train and smash
So
each other.
giants.
So like it was next level. Yeah. I was already at a weight disadvantage pre-baby. And here I was coming up against these girls that were just incredible athletes. Like they went from girls to incredible athletic women in that time. So
Yeah.
I was just gobsmacked at actually how hard I had to work, even harder this time round to even like physically compete.
Jeez.
And obviously, it's Alicia. It's pretty fresh. So obviously, you've just retired. But what's next? Is it? Do you want to stay in rugby? You know what I mean, or professional sport, or is it kind of getting completely out there and trying something completely new?
I think I've always wanted to dabble in the coaching side of things or give back to the game in some way after it gave me unlimited opportunities. So I think coaching would be something that would be really cool, or whether it's just like a skill specific coach. I don't know if I'd want to be the head coach. Some of those gigs are really, really tough. So just, be like a little celebrity spot coach here and there would be great. But I think also I did a little bit of commentary with J-Bor as well, and I love that side of it too, and just giving your opinion piece here and there, and analysing the game and adding my point of difference, which was my knowledge and analytical side of the game, to a viewer's perspective as well. That would be really cool to get involved in too. I'm a physio by trade, so I could just strap a few people here and there, but I'm not really too sure. I've got a few options there, and looking to explore a few of those, but in the interim, just enjoying some quality family time for the next week or so before we jet back off to Japan.
How was playing in the Japanese rugby over there? Was it just club?
Yes, I played in the club competition, did like the back end of their 15s training, and then did like some of the domestic preseason tournaments, and it was awesome. They are the hardest trainers I have ever met.
Fast and skillful.
And like fast, skillful, and like training starts at 5. They're there at 4 o'clock doing their own individual skills off their own bat. Like they're just working so hard all the time, and they're some of the loveliest and most welcoming people ever. And I remember saying to my husband when I played my first tournament there, saying like, if this is it, like if this is all I ever get back to, I am so happy, because it was unreal. The level of support they've showed me, and just also like the quality of the game and how much fun I had playing. That it was an awesome group of girls to be a part of in that transition back as well.
Well, Quirky, we were literally just discussing the recent score from the Wallaroos Black Ferns match over the weekend. The girls unfortunately went down pretty heavily to the Black Ferns over in New Zealand, and we were just saying that there's obviously a huge gulf in the standard of women's rugby, in particular 15s in the world game, between the professional sides and then you've got your amateur or semi-pro sides like the Wallaroos are compared to, say, the Black Ferns or England and France. I mean, I want to get your thoughts on this. Obviously, you were there during the golden age, I guess, of women's Aussie Sevens. Started debuting in 2013. As I said, 15-16, you won that World Series and the gold at the Rio Olympics in 2016. So you've been there for what has been the most fruitful time. What can we do to try and help supplement that 15s game to try to get it to that professional standard that all the other women's games seem to be really getting to and actually excelling at?
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned like that fruitful time, because that came off the back of pure investment from Rugby Australia. People putting their hand up and putting their money in their pockets and identifying players that have potential and are going to add greater value to the game and backing them, centralising a program and training day in, day out as their profession. So it's a proven that it works from people that never had played rugby before, let alone girls, say, that are in the 15 side that play domestically around Australia in both Queensland and New South Wales particularly, that are the strongest states for where the 15 side of the game is going. There has to be that level of professionalism or semi-professionalism that is happening that you see with other professional sports in Australia, like NRLW and AFLW, and you're seeing that return on investment is giving them a greater product that they can sell and commercialise, and then also is then returning bums on seats and people are wanting to watch it because the quality is just improving year in, year out. And I know, for example, like League, they're adding another 4 teams next year.
Yeah.
So that's another 120 girls that are going to be going and playing League as their full-time, or as their part-time, job, but as their main sport. And so that's just draining product and quality from Rugby Australia. And so we have to do something for that side of the game, whether it be professionalise the Super W of what it is, or put more propaganda and marketing and funding into that side of the game to make it a product that is more commercially viable. So, because obviously, as we all know, money is the driver for a lot of stuff happening, and especially more so in the women's game. But there's got to be something that's done that matches that and pushes the level of what rugby can offer as an international game and also domestic game, and pushes that more to the forefront of people's eyes. So girls are going, hey, I want to choose that over something else, or at least that's competitive and I can choose an option that it's not just, oh, that pays me more, or whether I like rugby or not.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing for me, from what I've seen has worked for me, and I've been a part of something that worked for a long time and is still continuing to work. You're delivering. These Sevens girls are now the best in the world, and that's going to continue happening. But that's only 15, 16 girls that get a Aussie Sevens contract.
Yeah,
you need to be giving more out to the girls below that in that Aussie A type program, and then you also need to be giving something to the Wallaroos and to the girls in that Super W competition to make them more competitive, and get them the resources that they need for that. And then that way you get the girls then giving back more to the game as well, from putting more effort in and wanting to be there more because they're getting something for their time.
I shot myself on the weekend when I saw, I think it's Jessie Southwell, is it? Jessie Southwell? Playing for the Knights and scoring an insane try. And I'm like, she's 17 or something like that. I'm like, another one.
Yep.
Seriously. Is she? I'm not sure what her scenario is or situation, but bloody hell, if we keep losing players like that, that's just a massive hit, isn't it?
It is. And it's funny you actually said,
Huge
sorry, Quirk, I don't mean to cut you off. It's funny you actually said that, it's not just the money side of things. It's, as you said, pump some propaganda out there. I mean, we had Grace Hamilton on here a couple of months ago, and she literally said she played, 1 or 2 games for the City Roosters NRLW side, just having a trundle with them and all that sort of stuff. And in her town of, I think it's Orange, she got recognised for playing for the Roosters and not being the captain of the Wallaroos. No one gave a shit about the Wallaroos, but she played 2 games for the Roosters and everybody shit their pants over it. So, I do appreciate we can do a hell of a lot
100%.
more to get the word out about the women's game and not just put a bit of cash in the back pocket too.
No, their marketing strategy is unreal. Like we went down to the NRLW game on the weekend, and there's the music, the hypes, the flames. Like there's flames coming out as they run out of the
just
field.
engage
like,
well.
And it just engages the fans. Tilly's got a sign that says "Go the Dragons," like the women's Dragons, and the music and everything. It's just entertaining, and it draws people into more than just like the game. The whole spectacle's awesome. And that's what we need to align the women's game with, like the Super Rugby when they do that, and have, the women Super W7s play beforehand, or the Super W play beforehand, week in, week out. And it's just like a whole product of you represent New South Wales, and the propaganda around that is epic. Like you're on buses and your faces are everywhere, and you're just blowing up on social media because it's just constant. And that way people think like, wow, the sport really values me. They're happy to promote me. They want me to be the face of XYZ. And it, like, you feel loved and a part of that. And that's awesome. Like, you're not fighting your media marketing to, like, get the game times right. Like, you're not doing stuff like that. It's just innate.
Don't start.
Don't get us started.
Don't get us started. Oh.
You guys know.
I'll bite my tongue.
Yes.
I want to take it back to you a little bit, Alicia. Obviously, you've had a fair career. Talk us through, probably the highlight of your career, and then also tell us a little bit about, some of the characters you played with, and some of those people that you'll miss the most.
Highlight. I think probably in my pre and post baby career. Pre Tilly, obviously the highlight would have to be the gold medal in Rio. That stands alone as one of the most awesome moments in my life. It was just absolutely epic. And then I think post Tilly, a few highlights in that was probably like my first day back at training, back in the Sevens fold. It was unreal experience, and like, kind of saying to myself, like, I've still got it. I can still play. Like, how good's this? And then I think probably the first game that I played over in Japan, and she came along and watched, and I saw the kickoff, and she was standing on the sidelines, and she ran onto the field. And Matt had to like run off and grab her, and I was like, how cool is that? Like she's running on to be a part of it, or running on to see her mum, and here I am, like, about to like put a hit on or something. I was like, that. Who am I kidding? I wasn't. And but like that moment was just unreal. And then like afterwards, having her like smothered by the Japanese girls, and you're sitting around doing recovery with her, dancing the circle amongst everyone, like that was pretty special. And it would have to be a huge highlight for me.
Nice. That's so lovely. I thought you were going to say, oh, sorry, Quirky. I was just going to say.
Sorry, I forgot the part 2 of the question.
Oh, yes, the characters.
Yes, we did too.
Who are some of the best characters?
Probably, best, obviously, you couldn't go past Elliot Green. And then probably more recently, one of my best friends is Dom DeToit, but obviously the main character that is my favourite is Dom DeTwat.
Yes, the Coot Queen.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is probably one of the weirdest humans I've ever met in my life. But one of the best humans ever, and her like quirkiness and weirdness, and just she's one of a kind, but one of the best kind too.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. No, I think we had Demi Hayes on here a couple of weeks ago. I asked if she was as big a kook as it comes across as. She confirmed that as well. So it's good to know. Good to know. I was actually going to
Oh,
say...
it's a universal confirmation.
Yeah, glorious. I was actually going to say, would your third best highlight be commentating with myself doing a few QPR games? I would have thought you'd say that, Quirky, but that's all Google then. That's fine.
Oh no, that's in my side career. Sorry.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, sorry.
You could say it.
Sorry, hard to distinguish. But what you touched on Elliot Green just before, Quirky. So it came out just over the last week that Elliot has come out as a trans man, just saying that post-career he actually had some really dark times and obviously missed out on that the Tokyo squad, and he actually said just locked himself in a dark room for the longest time and was just saying that he hopes the announcement would help others to feel comfortable enough to make decisions about who they want to be, saying that he had suffered from serious mental health issues since retiring from the sport last year. Obviously, this is a very touchy subject, but it's a huge relevant topic in the world of not just rugby, but just the world in general at the moment. But you must be over the moon to be able to hear that Elliot has come out and been able to, I guess, help spread the message for any other trans athletes out there and to maybe find a little bit of peace within themselves in regards to their own personal struggles.
Oh, most definitely. He has been incredibly resilient and incredibly brave with coming out with that announcement. I know it was a huge decision for him to be able to do that publicly, but knowing that the battles that he had faced on his own, he didn't want someone else to have to face them either, and hopefully could provide some support and comfort for someone that was going through the same thing. And I think that's hugely important in that mental health space as well, that people can be vocal and can be open and honest with their feelings. And for me, he has provided so much happiness and joy to so many people throughout his whole life, and to me in particular as well. And so whatever makes him happy makes me happy. And for him to have found some peace with that, then that is the most important thing, I think.
And it's incredibly brave to do it on the world stage, to have such reverence within, the rugby community, but also the Pacific Islander community, to be able to come out and announce this and try to help other people that may be going through the same thing. It's absolutely immensely brave to be able to do so.
Oh, 100%. And I think I'm just so proud of him that he could do that, and he found that strength in himself to be able to do that, because it's not his job to do that as well, either. So it's fantastic that he has been able to do that, and it hopefully has helped him as well in doing so. So yeah, it's just proud, honestly, just so proud.
You can see how much it means to you, Quirky. Well, one last thing. Yeah, obviously, this weekend we've got the final round of the HSBC Sevens. The girls are absolutely killing it. I mean, I think they've already locked it up, I assume. But then we've got the Sevens World Cup next month as well. I mean, the women's game, well, not just the women's, but the men's is doing very well as well. But the women's game in particular is just such a shining light for the game here in Australia. And if they can actually go for the three-peat, go the Com Games, lock up that World Series Sevens, and then actually win a World Cup, that's got to be on par with that gold medal in 2016. I mean, it's got to be a huge highlight for the girls to be able to chase that dream.
Yeah, it is enormous, absolutely enormous. And the girls have already wrapped up the World Series, and the men are playing this weekend in the last round of the World Series. And it's the first time ever, too, that the Australian men's sevens have been in contention to win a World Series, which is massive for just the whole game of sevens, and to put them on, in the limelight of being awesomely consistent this whole season, which is so good for them. But to trump that, the three-peat would be absolutely epic. And there's probably no team more deserving than those girls right now. Obviously coming back and being amongst them and training so hard, the hardest I've ever trained. ever. Like, I don't know what Tom Carter's gone away and just decided he's just going to make people run. And I thought we ran with Craig. We run. And, like, it is ridiculous how much we are doing right now. The crunning is real, the term that the girls have come up with, crying, running, or crying, vomiting, and running. It's
Running.
like not even a joke. That's actually what it's like at the minute. So I think it's a true testament for how much work that they've put in. And I think that was probably the hardest thing for me, not being involved in that 12 going away, is because I just know that they're going to win. I just want them to.
Yeah, I just get the W.
That is honestly how good they're doing at the minute, and it's going to be awesome for the game if they can finalise the 3.
Bloody oath. Well, we'll be cheering them on, that's for sure. Also, we saw your partner, Matty, just lining up for the Marlins on the weekend, going down, unfortunately, to Eastwood. Is he at Mad Monday at the moment, or...?
No, he's actually on daily duties. He probably wishes he was at Mad Monday.
Bloody
oath
he would.
We had to trump Mad Monday for this podcast. So
Thanks, Matty.
Yes. Matty Lucas coming through for the boys. Bless him. Absolutely awesome.
I can hear the bubber in the back.
yeah.
It sounds like is he cooking dinner? What's he cooking for dinner?
He actually is. He's got some snapper fillets on the
Oh,
so, you know.
Very well
What a
trained.
man. What a man.
He could be winning Hat of the Year. Yeah.
Shit. Hope my missus isn't watching. Bloody hell. No, I'm all right. Anyway, Quirky, look, I mean, what was it? 34 events, 186 matches for Australia, 9 years in the green and gold jersey, a little baby girl. You have done absolutely anything and everything there is possibly to do in a rugby career, and you should be immensely proud. So enjoy your retirement and all the best with whatever happens in the future. Hopefully we can commentate again sometime soon, but all the best with everything.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll hold you to that.
Bloody oath. Cheers, Quirky.
Yeah, Quirky.
Alicia Lucas, everybody.
What a
Absolute
gal. What a
superstar.
gal.
Oh, she's one of the best. And she's a bloody good commentator, actually.
Yeah, she is.
She's a very good commentator. She was actually a part of, I think, Rugby Australia got together about a dozen or so women to go into a mentorship program underneath Gordon Bray a few years ago. So gave them a few pointers, and they were trying to get them into the game. So I reckon that would be awesome.
She would be very good.
Mate, she has such a bloody good insight on the game.
And that's it. Her knowledge is phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's outstanding.
Yeah. Well, she's played 186 more games for Australia than I have. So, well, if I can do it, I guess she can too. I can just bullshit my way through. Speaking of bullshitting my way through, let's get back into the news, eh?
Nice.
Wallaby squad announced for the Springboks, and we've got James O'Connor getting the arse in favour of Bernard Foley.
Controversial.
Which is controversial, but it looks like James O'Connor is, I guess, he's the scapegoat now for that loss against the Argies a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. I think just reading the
Deservingly so, do you think?
Oh, definitely not. I don't think I don't think he was the only poor one out there. Like, I actually thought he went okay, you know what I mean? They just got decimated.
It wasn't our
it was-
halves that were really the
No,
issue either.
It was everything.
Not at all. I actually thought he was really good, but I just want to touch on this a little bit. Like Brendan Gabbett called him on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it had been announced. He said, can I get 40 minutes out of you this week? And he goes, Brendan just got dropped from the Wallabies. He said, let's go win a fucking comp.
Yes!
No, it's sort of yes, but yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, shit. No!
But
like
he's gutted, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Pretty cool way to bounce back.
Fuck yeah.
Hell
I'm kicking
yeah.
stones.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, same. I'm like, let's go.
That's
I
fucking
just
good.
Pull the boots
Just
back
cream
on.
my pants. That's
Well, no,
so
he's giving
awesome
back.
to hear.
Like he's,
That's
you know,
it.
like he's had a bit of adversity, and like you said, he wasn't like that night.
No.
Wasn't the only one who's, had a hard time.
Out of all of them, I think he was the only one, right?
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah.
But to come back and go, fuck it, let's win a comp, like that's pretty
You
sick.
got to love it, man. And that's
That's going to be fucking... I've got goosebumps. Imagine
Yeah.
like West Uni's stacked too.
Oh.
Like they were stacked. And brothers now, like...
We'll get to that.
Anyway, sorry.
But that's the thing. I mean, that for mine just highlights the strength of the club game. Is that players now aren't looking at the club game being like, like now I've got to pull on the green and gold for West, or I've got to pull on the butcher stripes for Brothers just because I didn't make this. They're like, no, I know if I keep showing up here, there's no reason why I can't get the call up. Because speaking of, Ben Donaldson just got added to the squad, and he's been playing for the Wicks for the last few weeks as well. So there's no reason why. Lungy Gleeson got added to the squad.
Yeah, that's good.
And he's obviously had a wonderful campaign for Australia A, but he's been chopping up for the Manly Marlins. He did on the weekend too. Oh,
mate,
he's so good. But that highlights, it is televised. That's one aspect of it, so everybody can see what's going on there. But it also just shows that, no, Clubland it's this genuine pathway for those higher levels. So
I reckon we're helping too.
I think it's all us, to be honest.
One show at a time,
I
boys.
can't think of anyone else who's doing more for the game than us three
Just
shit
ask
munchers.
us. Just ask us.
Yeah. But it's big because it's not just Bernard Foley being added to the squad. The returning players, and this just goes to show the injury toll we had. Andrew Kellaway, Angus Bell, Scott Seo, Alan Alalatoa. So that's 3 props right there. 2 hookers in Dave Parecki and Folau Fainga, as well as Hunter Paisami. So that is a raft of players who missed last week's game. So the
cavalry's back.
Cavalry's back, and James has got to be a bit like, oh, shit.
Come on, man.
Really?
Bernie Foley, though.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
reckon
didn't really touch on that. What's going on there?
I don't know, man. I'd love to have a beer with him, I reckon. I reckon
reckon?
I reckon he'd be good value on the
bit
pitch.
of straighty 180?
Nah, I reckon.
No, he plays it cool in front of the camera.
Oh, yeah. I reckon,
No, he plays it cool in front of the camera. It's like, hey, my name's Bernard. And then behind doors, he's like,
Bernie, call me Nard.
Yeah. Call me Nard Dog. Yeah, hell yeah.
I reckon but to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing him, I know this is bad for James, but I wouldn't mind seeing Bernard play under Dave Rennie, because I didn't like how he played under Checks and how he's fucking 10Ks back from every play. I reckon hopefully
bit more eyes up, bit more
up
tempo.
Bit of eyes up footy. We don't, because he's a good 10.
Before Bernard Foley played for the Wallabies and the Tars, he actually played Aussie Sevens and was the Aussie Sevens Player of the Year.
He was gone
in 2012 or 13 or something. Goes into the 15s game and then plays a lot of that high tempo, awesome football, and it sort of got coached out of him.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
in my opinion, I'm not a 10.
2015 World Cup, remember? He just tore England apart.
Yeah.
That's all he was doing.
Yeah.
Just flat at the line.
Just playing so flat to the line and then just getting hands for it, was unbelievable.
But he's still playing good in Japan. He's playing well in Japan. Yeah,
his experience. The biggest thing when you're playing as a fly half is experience, because the time and everything starts to slow down, as in you see things before they're starting to happening. That's right. You know what I mean? Your body starts to slow down, but it becomes a lot easier. So that's why Quaid comes back and everything's just easy for him and it looks easier. And so Bernard will be the same. Do you know what I mean? He'll have that experience. He'll have that ability just to direct. He knows what he's doing. So he's not going to go in there, and I don't think he's going to fail. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's just tough on James.
Yeah. And they actually don't think he'll be right for the first test.
No.
So you'd think Noah is going to get the Guernsey there, and then obviously he'll help dictate from there. So we can only see what happens from there. Another big thing, Matt Taylor stepping down as defence coach for the Wallabies. Laurie Fisher stepping in an interim role. Good to get the Cougs back in the mix. I don't mind seeing that. Laurie Fisher is just one of the most accomplished coaches in Australian rugby history. You can't go past it. One of the weird units too, which is good to see. But
love that.
But it's a big one. Matt Taylor and Dave Rennie both coming out and saying it was. They haven't really given a reason, but just saying it was agreed upon that it's probably best for him to step down. But that's a big loss. He's incredibly accomplished.
Hugely accomplished. He's got a massive career. Obviously, winning the comp with the Reds way back in the day, but then in Glasgow and then on to Scotland and then coming over here. He's a terrific coach, and one of his best traits is the ability to connect with the players, and that's how he's built his career, in my opinion. Obviously, he's very knowledgeable and gets a lot out of it, but he gets the best out of the players. So I don't know what's gone on there, but Laurie Fisher's not a bad bloke to step into the role. I know that Matt Taylor has desires to become a head coach, so I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up somewhere over the next 12 to 18 months in a head coach role somewhere.
I think well over 100 tests as an assistant, both with Scotland and Australia. So, he's been a bridesmaid long enough, you'd have to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's probably something out there waiting for him.
Tough Guernsey being a coach.
Unfortunately, worse than being a player.
It's worse than being a player, and probably almost worse than being a ref. No, but like the controversy you cop. You know what I mean? Like it only takes 2 or 3 games, and everyone wants to cut
The
your
buck
head off.
stops
They
with you.
literally like we're going to cut your head off.
Yeah.
Where the refs are like, it's just the ref. You know, the next game's all good, but the coaches is like, we actually want to kill you.
Speaking of,
In
survived the Hangsman's noose. Ian Foster, the NZRU came out and said board unanimously voted to keep him there through to the next World Cup. Apparently that meeting was actually already scheduled on the cards, not as a result of the mounting pressure. Bullshit. But it ends months of uncertainty, and it's pretty funny because it comes after their 35-23 win over New Zealand, and the New Zealand board chair Stuart Mitchell actually said the win was magnificent before declaring Foster's position safe. So do you think that win saved his career, Dow?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. It could have, but I just think they feel like they've got their guy, and they went through a bit of a rough patch, but they're still 18 months out.
Do you think they're just sticking in being stubborn, and they then in 18 months' time, if it does fail, go mea culpa, we need a change?
I don't know. I reckon the boys have got around him. Hey, I reckon that last
They did
win,
say that the players came out.
That last
in
win, I think like the boys have just stepped up and they've really just got around him, and hopefully that's what the penny has dropped for him. I hope not for our sake, but you know what I mean. Like I think from just what I've read and all that sort of stuff, that the boys have got around him and they want him as the coach. So I don't know, if that's just.
But
bullshit,
I also think they've brought in a fair bit of experience around
Joe Schmidt.
him. So Joe Schmidt now is
he was
heavily
actually just
involved.
to be a selector. He's now coming in as an assistant.
Yeah, and so they got rid of I don't even remember the other guys' names, but
Don't need it.
yeah, that's right. So they brought in a lot more experience now around him. So obviously they're backing him, but maybe they felt like he didn't have enough support in and around it. So now he's got that.
Could have been the thing too.
Hopefully he can be successful.
No, hopefully not.
They've got the cattle, that's for sure.
Oh shit, yeah.
Like
the All
it's-
Blacks, mate.
Yeah, they've got the cattle. You've got guys like Sevu Reece and all that running around in bloody NPC or whatever it's called.
Did you see Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on the weekend?
Yeah, mate. Far
Terrible,
out.
eh? He's cucks.
Oh, gee.
Look at
Speak about my also like
I don't think I've ever seen apart from the Dell and Lottie, you know what I mean, and potentially Matt Rogers, but I don't think I've ever seen a league convert come across and be so successful. He's so good.
He's so good, and he's like
He
already.
looks
He's
like-
already made the All Blacks.
Yes,
you know what I
but
mean? Like
doesn't
that's not
look
just
like a leaguey playing union.
Correct.
Just looks like a,
And sorry,
a
like-
union player. You know?
I'll take that back. Obviously, you got Brad Thorne,
Yeah,
but I'm
yeah.
talking about in the back line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just
Looks like they were just
I
made
would-
to play rugby.
I wouldn't mind seeing him have a dig at 15. Just give him a game.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd. I know he's may not have that kicking game down pat at the moment, but I'd love to see him returning
with a little bit of space.
You just remember some of the tries that guy scored. Like there's nothing on, and he just see you later. And very similar to me when I played.
Couldn't even finish
Straight.
that sentence.
I kind of wanted to chime in with Quirky going, I know how it feels trying to come back because I'm basically pregnant.
I was with-
Because I was like,
No, when she
we
was
good?
like, and coming back from like, in like that first training session, I was like, well, Franz could probably give you a few
Yeah.
pointers. He's done it.
I nearly had a
6 or
heart
7
attack.
times.
I nearly had a heart attack. Oh.
Alrighty, well, that rounds out all the news stories for the weekend just gone. Have we got any Battlers Bench segment stuff, Freeney?
Yes, we do. Roll it, Zachy.
VIP. Let's
Kick it.
Ice, baby.
I missed us.
Me too.
So we just got a couple of different variations of celebrations and handshakes. Really, we've got the first example is this one. Look at them go, just all down pat. This would have taken.
They're all different, dude.
This would have taken hours. Oh, kill him. And then we've got. And then we're. Oh.
That guy had to remember all of them.
I was
Yeah, I
gonna
know.
say,
Incredible.
and then they go
I
out
couldn't-
and
I
lose
couldn't have
by
done that.
100.
I would have had a brain. And then you got the West celebrations. Well done, Navo. You've done really well.
That That is how we shake hands at the kennel.
Yeah. That's the old Bulldogs handshake.
There it is.
Rumour has it that after Navo ran back on, Bronson did the old...
Finger
Give it a
licking good.
Yeah, give it a good old sniff. So shout out to the Bulldogs.
Ah.
I've got a quick shout out too whilst we're on the Battlers bench.
What's up, man?
This weekend, the grand final for the Sunshine Coast. Right, we've got the mighty Marucci Swans versus Uni on Sunday, I think 3:00. So just a big shout out to the mighty Swans, my junior side. They can do it. They can do it. They had they were just the jokes the other week against Uni when they lost, but this week I reckon they're going to get it done.
You reckon they're going to get it done?
They're going to get it done, boys.
When was the last time the Swans bagged a premiership?
I don't think it was too long ago, maybe about 2 or 3 years.
Oh, nice.
But anyway, guys,
Fuck
good luck.
me then.
And I love you all. I love you all.
Oh, yeah, up the Swans.
And I might come out of retirement next year. No, I won't.
I doubt it.
No, I doubt it. I'm done.
How many times can you come out of retirement? Bloody hell, mate.
Sorry, man. I didn't want to this year. I was fine. I was literally fine.
All right, let's plow ahead. That's everything?
Yep, that's it, mate.
Good.
Short and sweet, baby.
You got to love it, man. We'll get into the Hospital Cup. We'll just tick that off really quickly because, Jesus Christ, because we've got plenty of shoot shield action we want to get into. North's 14, West 19 to West 40. This was an absolute shocker. South's 13, Jeeps 19. Gave them a good run there, the Gallopers, out at Chipsy Oval. But we're going to start with, Jesus Christ, UQ 103 to Sunnybank 28. An absolute cricket score. 1 minute, 20 seconds into the game, try scored, 3 minutes. Mate, this was an absolute bloodbath of the highest regard. I wasn't watching live, and I kept checking at half time, and I thought there must be a mistake.
I think I saw the halftime score and I was like, wow. And then end score, I was like, wow.
But it's just, look at this,
Murray
21-0,
absolutely
7 minutes in, 28-0. Brad Twydale killing it off the tee. Like, this was a UQ side stacked to the gills. Tate McDermott, Lucas Ripley, Matt Greeley, Kai Oates, Jock Campbell. I mean...
And I think, like, if you look at it, everyone probably go, oh, gee, Sunnybank were really bad. Like, Sunnybank weren't actually that bad. Like, this is just a red-hot UQ side. I understand there's plenty of missed tackles, but they were on.
They were on.
Like, they were unreal.
Pat Murray, I think you touched on it beforehand.
He's unstoppable.
No, and he's taking quick taps but within the first 2 minutes. Tap. But watch this shit. There you go.
You've got
Joseph Alalo, Ripley, bang, try.
You've got Tate McDermott who's come back, right, and just absolutely lifted the tempo for a uni side who are already a side that's quick. That's tempo. It's just like, if you don't start well, you're in a lot of trouble. With 3 tries in 5 minutes or something they scored?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got Tate McDermott just absolutely just stepping it up another level. So,
but you can see here, 70-7 at the half. 70-14 or whatever it was. They had 70 points in the first half.
Incredible.
Oh, mate.
It's going to be a good final series, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you sort of touched on it before, friends. If you've got a UQ side pack like that alongside Wes, Brothers, Jeeps won't be there, so maybe, I don't know.
I don't want to count them out, but Jesus, just looking at like, if I'm just totally unbiased and just looking at teams on paper, you got to think it's going to be a hard slog for the boys to try and beat. Like, if they beat and they win, that's a massive test of character, because some of the sides that are coming out at the moment, you're just like, holy shit, mate.
Oh, mate,
they're insane.
They're
Mate, Josh
ridiculous.
Nasser, like, how much has he improved too? Like,
he's
around the park, you can't fault him. Hey, like,
no, his work around the park
out,
was never his issue.
No,
If anything, it was amazing. I mean, he's transitioning from prop to hooker.
Yeah.
He's learning the intricacies of playing hooker there. But no, around the park, he's absolutely sublime. But I mean, like, I had severe food poisoning last week. Literally woke up
from a
in
cookie,
bed.
allegedly.
Yeah, literally woke up in bed having shit myself. And watching that game was the worst thing that happened to me last week. I hate it. I was just like so depressed on Sunday morning. Like, I can't do this, Like, it hurt. So I feel...
I've been there.
Mate, I grew up as a Logan Junior, and we're born to hate Sunnybank, and I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I had to stop and take a
It
breather.
reminded
for a
me
little
of
bit, man.
just before I got to the Stingrays. I think they had a couple of 120s or something against them. I got belted once against Uni at the Stingrays the first year. I think it was 76-5 or something, and I don't want to bag one of the players, but he was so slow. Like the opposite 10 literally just ran around him.
Who was it?
Oh, I don't want to name him, but
Nah, yeah.
Played 10.
no one really knew him. Like he's a local bloke, and I dead said, I shit you not. Because we always had a good scrum. Like our scrum, we did well.
'Cause you're all in the
You
juice.
get up. I wasn't on the juice.
You were, mate. You're all on the juice.
Just a minute, man.
I wasn't, man. Anyway, long story short, the opposite 10, whoever it was, just literally ran, got the ball from the scrum, and just ran an overs line and just ran around him.
Just like a slight veer around.
You just stick your head up and just like, what the fuck?
That's so good, man.
Yeah, just like, oh, well.
Well, mate, hopefully for the sake of the game, when Sunnybank is strong, rugby in Queensland's doing pretty well because, like, mate, that... But Jesus Christ, that was hard.
Mate, that's the first time they've had that team on the field.
Uni. Yeah.
So, just, mate, that was there.
I hate him so much, man. I hate UQ.
Yeah, and everyone's thought we've written them off. We've written them off. We're like, uni, they're not looking as good this year. And then all of a sudden...
Here's John Campbell.
Jokes.
hate me
We just
turn
chuck all of our reds in and...
we'll just play Mac really out of position at 13. See how bad can that go?
Yeah.
All right. And then out at Crosby, Dow. This was a bloody good game of footy. Brothers 31, Bond 25. The key difference here, both sides going hell for leather, but Brothers just took their opportunities. Bond had plenty of opportunities, but just didn't come away with points.
Yeah, I still think, and I've said this before, I still think, Bond are close to the best team in the competition. But I think they've fucked themselves over a few times this year. I think they lacked a goal kicker early on, and it cost them.
Yep.
And I just think in this game as well, like they nearly got there in the end. It was all thanks to Sam Hine. They didn't, but
Oh,
How
mate.
good's Hiney been this year?
That try saver.
I don't know how he did it.
That's one of the
Just chop
best
his arm off,
tackles.
put it in bronze, and put it on the wall.
Yeah, you should
Save the
immortalise that and put it at the butchery.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was ridiculous. But Jaden Armanu, when he came on, didn't he just absolutely change the tide of that game?
He certainly
was
did.
awesome.
But also Tyler Campbell.
Yeah,
He's
mate.
a gun.
He's been a revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he started like you got to feel for the poor guy. Had a couple of years off, knee injury after knee injury, but he has been immense.
He's so good.
Without
Yes.
him, I don't think they're the same side.
100%.
Nah. No.
That's what I was trying to allude to last week.
Mm.
Just saying that, like, he's that sort of player that can get him to that sort of next level, and it's good to see him get the minutes. And
Good to see him
touch
back.
wood.
But it's some of the
continue.
shit munchers in their side that do the hard graft. Like Wilson Blythe is an absolute
Yeah.
gun. Angus Blythe, when he plays
They're
for
a good
Bond, just
side,
brings this mongrel. But on the weekend, Reece Sheriff
Yeah.
up against Harry
What a
Hooper,
find he is.
Yeah, man.
twisted him up in a pretzel and did him up the sphincter. Like,
How-
just turned him
look
inside
at
out.
this, look at the shaft on him. He's just like a barrel, mate. He's just
Oh, mate. But it's the best thing to see. Just a
He-
bloke who literally is just built like a prop. Just
he was dicking buddy George Francis the other week too, and
Against
he's
South.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's no slouch, mate.
No.
Like, and I think it got to George as well because he's been bloody good. A good tight head is priceless, mate.
Mate,
Like, it's
and
priceless.
he absolutely took it to Harry Hooper on the weekend, mate. Like, Harry Hooper was a part of the Australia A squad no more than a month ago. And this bloke came out and did an absolute number on him. Got at least three or four penalties
I
out
think
of
he's
him.
from Sydney.
He is.
Eastwood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, it'd be good. It'd be good to see some of the club battlers get a bit of a get a shot higher, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Now it's time for Shoot Shield. We saw some corkers on the weekend. At first semi, Manly going down 26 points to 32 against Eastwood. Again, it was literally... This was very much
Edmed.
like the Brothers and Bond game. Tane Edmed absolutely tore them apart, but Manly just were their own worst enemy. Things like this, Kemu Valentini and then Marky Mark just gobbling it up. And
How good was he, mate?
Yeah. Valentini and Edmed went shot for shot with the penalties throughout the majority of the match, but it was just Manly just, I think, on two occasions, deep inside the Eastwood 5 metre line, two crooked throws. Cec Hildebrand had a pretty bad day throwing the ball on the line out. It was a bit of a shocker for him, unfortunately, but they were their own worst enemy a lot of the time now.
Yeah, they certainly were, and that's it. Like there wasn't necessarily much between these two. Obviously, Tane Edmund was exceptional, but in the end, I think Manly beat themselves.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing out of it.
Noah Gantano-Wasi, mate. He did one run there where he just ran through like 20 people.
Yeah.
It's just like, mate, I watched more Shoot Shield on the weekend, actually.
It's a good brand of footy, isn't it?
Mate, I love it, mate. Tane Edmed was like he was in the Matrix and he was Neo. He was just, everyone was, like Dale said before, going in slow-mo. He was insane.
Yeah, man of the match performance.
And is it Tuasese, the 6?
Ratu Tuasese, they're number 6.
Mate, he was whacking blokes.
It had to have been between him and Maxi Douglas for that Ken Catchpole medal, because Ratu Tuasese has been absolutely amazing all season. But
Lungy Gleeson again too. He was.
But there's Tuasese coming out of the line, putting the shot on. Like they just work hard, Eastwood. Like there's one thing that they do well, and they work so bloody hard for each other. So, mate, they're up against Sydney Uni this weekend.
It's not looking good.
I think they're a good matchup for Sydney Uni because they're pretty hard graft, but they've got some exciting guys. Chris Bell at the back was absolutely awesome, the Englishman.
He was.
So, oh, man.
Well, yeah, that was
Sucks for the Marlins. It was a big season for them. They were looking red hot, but I think it was just all season the Marlins would really live up to this potential, look like they're world beaters, and then stumble. And it sort of got worse as the season progressed, so they'll be ruined that one, Dow.
100%. I think they'll be gutted by it in the end. I think they cost themselves, but, they turn around a pretty good season from last year.
Bloody oath. Last year, I think they were pretty dreadful, to be honest. And then we saw yesterday, Arvo, mate, this one was a corker. 23 plays 24 in favour. Gordon over Randwick. Ben Donaldson had a huge first half. That's just one thing he can do right there, is just absolutely cut them up. But it was all Randwick in the first half. Pretty ordinary half for Gordon, being down by 10, then coming away. I think penalty try in the 78th minute to get the win. Absolutely huge for them. But Reece McDonald was just shooting the lights out for Gordon all day.
But they never, credit to Gordon for getting there in the end, but in my opinion, they were never in the game.
No, it was all
Randwick.
If you're Randwick.
If you're Ben McCormack, a good friend of ours, like as the coach, I think he'd just be gutted.
Yeah.
He'd be
because they
spewing.
did everything to win the game.
I agree with you, mate. They were in my eyes, a better team on the day, but yeah, Gordon just grafted and
That's all it was, is like you can see there, 10-point deficit at the half, and then it was just bring it in tight, do these things, and they just stayed in it. All they did was stayed in it. And it was actually Randwick the majority of the time. They actually had a man in advantage here. This was their third opportunity going for the rolling maul. As you said, Dal, they controlled 95% of this game. They dictated the tempo. They dictated the whole defensive effort. Like everything was coming from Randwick.
Yeah.
But Gordon just happened to just be chipping away. And then I think it's just here you can see Jack McGregor scores, gets the penalty try. 2 minutes to go. They've got the penalty advantage. Jack McGregor decides to go for it and sees he's got the space. High shot. Penalty try. Christian Yasmin yellow card.
Game over.
No good.
Game over, baby.
And it's funny because when we were thinking about our rugbies this weekend, I was watching all these games and all the rugbies I wanted to select were actually from all the losing sides. Like Nixon Taramai, Reece Sheriff were absolutely unbelievable. I thought, who am I thinking of? For Randwick. Christian Poitevin was absolutely awesome.
Immense, yeah.
Absolutely awesome for Randwick. And all these players out of the losing sides were actually the best individual players. And I guess that goes to show that's finals footy, Dallin. It's a team effort. You can't have a few guys playing well.
No, that's right.
It's about what happens as a team, and they were able to come away with a win. So, oh, shit. Well, that means this weekend we've got Sydney Uni versus Eastwood. Probably arguably the two most dominant sides over the best part of the last 20 years in the Shoot Shield. Eastwood jagging 3 or 4 premierships under John Menenti, Sydney Uni being Sydney Uni. I've got to ask, who are we back? I know who we're backing. Who do we think's going to win?
I'm saying Eastwood. If we've got the same team, if they field the same team, I reckon they
should do.
They can do it. I reckon they can do it.
With Tane Edmed running the show.
In my opinion.
I'm going the other way. I don't think Uni get beaten. I think
they're
Uni
one of
win
those
the
sides,
comp.
aren't they? Really?
Yeah. I think Uni win the comp.
I haven't watched enough of Uni this year to make that call, unfortunately.
I just think they're in a position, they're very similar to UQ up here. I just think they'll come good. They've got some good experience there. They know how to win. Tommy English, those type of guys.
Yeah, how good's that?
Got a coach of the year.
Yeah.
At the helm.
Shawnee Hedger.
Yeah. Coach of the year.
And so, I'm going to go the opposite of what Freen said and say Sydney Uni.
Yeah,
And that's fine because that's your opinion.
I'll be barracking for Eastwood. I mean, if they're going to win,
I'd love to see him win just because of Eastwood and it's Tane Edmund and those boys have just had a crack of a year.
I think if they're going to win, the Eastwood backline needs to just go hell for leather, and I think that Eastwood back row, led by Ratu Tuasese, just needs to. And Michael Isley, I think guys like that who can match Sydney Uni's not just physicality, but their like X factor. They need those guys to start blowing the game apart. Because Sydney Uni are just too clinical. I think they need to get in their heads. So I think Sydney Uni will be too good, but fucking kills me. Norths versus Gordon. One hell of an old rivalry, the North Side derby. These guys hate each other. I mean, who are we backing in here?
I'm going to say North.
Yep.
I reckon Gordon played the grand final on the weekend. I don't think they really deserve to be there, but they got there, and I just think North will be too good. They had a week off. They'll freshen up. They had a couple of injuries.
Yeah, Dave Finlay had away and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm going North as well. There's a few boys from up here, so I'm going to back them. And they knocked.
I'm going North as well. I'd love to see a North Sydney Uni final. A North Eastwood final would actually be a good brand of footy because you'd have two sides that are sort of similarly
Eastwood haven't
matched.
been there for a while. Yeah.
No, Eastwood were there against.
They won it last year, didn't they? Or the year before?
No, they were in the final against Gordon a couple of years ago. So
when did Eastwood win it?
they won like 3 in a row. Was it in the early 2010s or some shit like that? Tino's on the 1s and 2s at the moment.
Who won it last year?
It was Gordon's carried over from 2 years
that's
ago.
right, that's
it was
right,
called off last year and the year before. So from 20...
That's right.
20 or whatever the fuck, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah. But I think, under John Menenti, Eastwood actually won, I think, 3 in a row.
They did, yeah.
So, yeah. But
It'll be cracker.
it'll be interesting to see what happens, but it's going to be a hell of it. Mate, the standard of footy and shoot shield, geez, it's good. It is very good.
And I'll just give a little plug to the Brisbane footy at the moment as the standards are picking up for finals. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I'm pumped for it all.
I'm pumped. The standard's been pretty good across the year.
Yeah,
no, I mean, but it's getting better.
It's getting better.
Like it's like the games on the weekend. You're just like, far out.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, I think
It's a
think
good brand
this
of footy.
weekend in QPR you're going to see a few sides really blow the cobwebs out because I think Dos touched on it last week. He was saying West are going to be underdone because they had a bye, then Norths and Souths. And I think West were, for lack of a better term, fucking dreadful in that first half against Norths on the weekend. Sorry, Tina, I don't mean to swear. But, like, they were shocking, and they won't want to have that coming into finals. So I can't help but think that LV's going to give them a rocket, and they're going to come out on this weekend and
It'll be a great speech
look
before the
to
game, I think,
spank
mate.
South. Really look to spank South.
It's just good to see all these boys back, though. All the Queensland players and stuff coming back for it.
Oh, shit, rugby. All right, yeah, sorry, I was about to end the show. All right, one last thing. So we've got our rugby segment. Freeney, your rugby from the weekend just gone. It's Tane Edmed.
Tane Edmed speaks for itself.
We've literally just
glorious
waxed lyrical
ranger
about him.
Yeah, we've just been pumping his tyres for the last hour. It's just silky, man.
But that is a courageous line, running that hard on this line, right near
100%.
the edge of a ruck.
That could have ended bad.
Oh, big time, mate. But he also, so he's now got the captain's armband for this Eastwood side at the age of 22.
22? Is he only 22?
He's 22. So he's not just like you were talking about it, Dal, like with experience at 10, it starts to slow down. But at 10, you dictate what happens with the side, whether or not you're the leader. Whether or not you got the skipper's armband,
100%.
you are the leader of the side in regards to what happens in attack, and he does that with aplomb. And the fact that he's now got the skipper's armband, he's got leadership potential all over him.
100%. It's massive.
Mate.
I love him.
I love him so much. We've got to get him on the show. Tino, can you facilitate that, please? Thank you. Dallin, your rugby from the weekend just gone out of South Rugby Club.
Yeah,
Dave Nichol.
Winger David Nichol. So obviously I've heard really good things about him, how fast he was, and a few other bits and pieces. This is his first game starting in Premier Grade, but he was just absolutely immense. Like he is matched up against Josh Collins, shut down Josh Collins all day, but also his fleet feet across the park. He's so fast. And watch this. Get to the outside a few times, find space, strong in contact.
He should not have. I think this is the one I'm talking. Yeah. He gets another run.
Second
too when he
effort.
runs through.
Yeah, and he scores a try late in the game. I mean, he's just so quick. And they'll be better for it. He looks like a real talent coming through. This one here, Sebastian gets to the outside. Then he's just gone.
Mate.
It's a lot to like with that.
Jeez, that's good, eh? You love to see it.
Yeah, yellow carded.
Love to see that too.
What do you do?
Good niggle.
It was an absolute stitch up. He reckoned he hit Twain late and then dumped Twain on his head. And
Oh,
it was
heinous.
in
Cynical.
contact and then dumped him on his side. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Grub.
Alrighty, Doss wasn't able to make it in, but his rugby from the weekend just gone was Ben Donaldson. He said it was primarily just as a result of that call-up to the Wallaby squad, but just little things like this, like we were just waxing lyrical about Tane Edmund and his sort of leadership potential, but like Ben Donaldson has really stepped up this season, Dow.
I love him. I like
Yeah.
it. They've got two really fantastic 10s down there at the Waratahs, very different. But I just love the fact that he's cool and calm and collected. He communicates really well and just goes to the line hard as well. Like you see a few times here, like he's just direct at the line and does a really terrific job at challenging the defence.
Yeah, he's got
Just
this.
that.
He's just silky, man. Remember that Australia A game? He did the most ridiculous offload to set up a try. He's just got that real,
Yeah.
the
And my rugby from the weekend just gone, as much as it kills me, it is in Coyotes. Shout out to him getting 4 tries, but it's got to go to Brad Twydale. And the only reason I'm giving anyone from UQ love is because he's just a country kid with a strong jawline, shows up, puts in, no frills. I think he kicked 9 conversions and scored a try. So he scored 33 points, 14 conversions and a try. So 14 from 15. 33 points for himself. And my brother coaches at UQ, and he just says he's the man. Like,
He is.
just no frills, shows up, gets the job done, works hard. And
wouldn't
Hino fucking loves him because of it.
you
He's just...
wouldn't bloody lend him your hat though, would you?
What?
Right?
Because he's got a big bonds.
Yeah, he's got a big old head on him. I wouldn't lend him your hat. It's like the Fonz on the weekend. I gave him my hat.
Alfonso.
Yeah, he's got a big head.
Is he back?
No, he's not, mate. Square wheels. He's not back. He's too slow. Nah.
Square wheels. Square.
You like that one, boys?
That's a good one.
You write that down. Write
You've
that down.
earned this
Tino.
promotion up to the starters desk there, Freeze. I like it there.
Thanks, mate. I think I'm a bit more chirpy up here. I think
You seem a hell of a lot more settled up
It's almost
here
like
than
you lower yourself to Darcy's level. And you get up here like you. Speaking of Darcy, I told you I was on the weekend. It's Saskia, that's his wife's name.
Saskia, yep.
She came up to me at this party we were at. She's like, "It's so nice of you guys, to be on Darcy's show. Like he's really pumped. Like he loves having you guys in, and it's just good that you guys can support him on his journey." I was like, "What?"
You didn't burst his bubble, did you?
Nah.
He's clearly been like, "Yeah, nah, it's my show, babe."
He's like Step Brothers when they're trying to get investment off their dad, and he's like doing the man hours, and he's making all these videos for his missus. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good gas by Sass, man.
Oh.
Yeah, she's got good. She can rip ya.
Yeah.
She's ripped me a
That's
lot in my
good.
lifetime, man. Bless her. Oh, that's so good. Oh, Big Fat Dash should be back in the mix in a couple of weeks' time. So, heaven forbid he
It's
stays
been,
up
it's
there
been pretty
longer.
smooth without him. to be honest.
Funny that.
I'm just joking. I miss you,
No,
Das.
we love Big Fat Das.
He's got his own
Love hate.
uniqueness. doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's just-
bloody oath, man. Bloody oath.
He's a genius.
All right. Well, that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Show. As per usual, as we always say, be sure to like and subscribe and share all our content. We want to get it out there and get around the boys and or girls of rugby here in Australia and around the world. So please get around the PAC Show every way you can. Freeney, congratulations. It's 2 in a row up at the starters
Yeah, the
box,
boys.
mate. You're killing it. Dallin, welcome back. Tino, Zachy boy on the 1s and 2s. As per usual, we couldn't do it
Thanks,
without
guys.
yous. And until then, stay safe. We'll see you next week. Ciao.